RBI students are living in constant anxiety कि कब exam होगा, कब नहीं होगा. Let me have some clarity on it. And I keep getting a lot of messages, calls, etc., about the same thing day in and day out. While I don't have an answer to this question, nobody has an answer to this question. Probably even RBI does not have an answer to this question. I can help you deal with this situation a little better, more scientifically, more rationally, and based upon my experience of the past years. आपको क्या क्या करना चाहिए कि एग्जाम डिलेड है नहीं है वो अलग सिचुएशन है, बट जो भी है हमें एज अ स्टूडेंट क्या करना चाहिए, व्हाट शुड बी डू इन ऑर्डर टू डील विद दिस सिचुएशन फॉर माय ओन एडवांटेज. क्या ऐसा मैं करूं सो दैट माय चांसेस ऑफ सक्सेस, माय प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ सक्सेस इंक्रीजेस इन द एग्जाम, वो समझना जरूरी है. सबसे पहले द फर्स्ट थिंग दैट यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड इज stop doing what 99% students are doing and start doing what 99% students are not doing. I repeat once again, stop doing what 99% students are doing and start doing what 99% students are not doing. When you understand that, you've cracked the code of any exam. I don't want to explain this, and I don't think I should have to explain this after such a long time, but you should be able to understand this by yourself. कि ऐसा क्या है, what is it that majority of students have been doing, are doing even now, that I should not be doing, and what is it that they are not doing that I need to be doing to make sure that my probability of success in the exam increases. That is number one. You have to understand it, realize it, and use it for your advantage. The second thing that I want you to understand is there is only one connection between you and the exam date. This is you and your prep, and this is the exam date. There is only one connection between these two things, and that is your psyche, your psychological understanding of the connection between these two. That is the only thing. There is no other connection between these two. And you can't change this, but you can change your psyche. So if you can actually change your psyche to make sure that the delay in the exam, the uncertainty in the exam does not affect your preparation, then you have cracked the code of winning the examination, of cracking the examination, of finding success in the exam. Believe me, for students who are serious about their exam, this is an opportunity. Why is this an opportunity? Because they know that majority of the students are going to give up right now. So why and how can I get ahead of them at this point? That is what the winners are thinking. And the losers are busy thinking and feeling and getting affected by the delay in the examination. So if you actually want to be successful, understand this, that the only connection between your prep and the exam date is your psyche, your own psychological understanding about this, and nothing else. Because it's just all made up. We don't know if the exam is delayed. Last year also the exam was held at this time, so how is it delayed? It is not delayed. It is just our psyche that tells us that it is delayed. A lot of people started making videos in March that the exam will come in April. I had no option but to give you a 3-month, 4-month plan because students were asking for it. And nobody knew at that time if the exam is going to come in April or not. So I had to also say, okay, if the exam happens in April, this is how you prepare. Okay, because I don't want to tell my students, no, the exam is not going to happen in April, and yet then see the exam happening in April. I'm also human. I also have to deal with multiple situations. So the exam is actually not delayed, but it is only a psyche that is telling us that the exam might be delayed. I hope you get this. Let's come to the third point. Many notifications are coming out right now. Therefore, the smart students, the serious students, instead of constantly thinking about the exam date of RBI and NABARD, are going to instead use these other notifications as an experiment, as an experience to learn for the upcoming RBI and NABARD exam. For example, LICAAO has come out, IFSC is expected to come out very soon, IRDI is expected to come out very soon, EPFO has already come out. A lot of students, now they're not getting diverted from their RBI and NABARD prep, but they are using these notifications as an experiment, as an experience to make sure that the mistakes that they make in these exams do not get repeated in RBI and NABARD exam. That is what you also have to do if you actually want to minimize your chances of failure and maximize your chances of success. It's very simple actually. It just requires you to sit quietly in your own room for a while, think about what you're doing and what you can do, and then go out and make those changes. Let me come to the last point now. You all must have seen 12th fail. किसी ने देखी होगी, किसी ने नहीं देखी होगी, but majority students have an idea about it. In that movie, there's a very popular statement or sentence: restart, restart, restart. But that is only half the truth. The complete truth or the complete sentence is restart and revise, restart and revise, restart and revise. It's not dramatic enough, so they did not pick it up, but that is the complete truth. If you want to clear the exam, you cannot just clear the exam by restarting. That is dramatic, but it's not complete. If you want to clear the exam, you have to repeat, you have to revise. Some days back, a student called me and he was very frustrated and he was like, Sir, I'm mentally completely exhausted from reading the same thing again and again, and I don't know when the exam is going to happen. मैंने जनवरी का करंट अफेयर्स भी किया हुआ था, but now I feel that it's not useful anymore. What do I do? How do I get out of this mental exhaustion? And I told him, what you have done is an opportunity. What you have done is an advantage. What you have done is actually going to help you to clear the exam. So instead of getting exhausted, be happy about it. Instead of getting exhausted thinking that you read so much, be glad that you read so much. So now you are ahead of the other students. Only if you can revise all that you've read. That is the only thing that you have to do, and you have the time. That is the advantage. You have the time. Notification is not out yet. So instead of getting exhausted, think that you are in such an advantageous situation where if you just revise it another 2 times, 3 times, you will be at such an advantage than your competitors in the exam. And by the end of the call, the student was actually happy. Oh, I did not see it this way. I thought January current affairs is useless, but now you're telling me January current affairs can still be useful. So I will now revise it. That is what you have to do. You have to understand that the only code to clearing the exam is revision. A student who revises 5 times is at a better chance than clearing the exam than a student who has revised 2 times or 1 time or who has just read the entire syllabus only once. That is where you want to be. You want to have that advantage. If you have that advantage, you're increasing your chances of success. And in an examination where the success rate is only 1%, you cannot confirm or guarantee whether you'll get through or not, but you can only go on increasing your chances of success. So instead of being concerned about delay in the exam notification, and we don't know whether it's actually a delay or not, let's be concerned about revision. Let's be concerned about what matters to clear the exam, not what matters to write the exam. You don't just want to write the exam, you want to clear the exam. So that is all from my side for this session. I wanted to create this small video because I know there is a lot of frustration, and if I was a student like you, even I would find it difficult to study 7-8 hours every day. But what I would make sure is that I'm revising everything that I'm reading. Even if I'm doing it slowly, I'm doing it. I'm not letting it go out of my hand. I'm not letting it slip. I'm just revising constantly, again and again and again. And that is how I know that is the only chance, the only way of clearing the examination and beating the competition. That's all from my side. Keep studying hard. All the best. Bye bye.